Alright, so this is my 2007 Fit Sport minus the front valence or under spoiler as they call it. As you can see, there's a nasty scrape in the front from someone that cut me off, and I hit the brakes and just at the last second and was able to prevent like a serious collision. But anyways, insurance is going to pay for that. I'm not responsible, so I'm not going to pay for anything, but it's still $750 for a repair that looks relatively minor. Still, they're gonna have to, repaint the front bumper or whatever. So, anyways, I got my Rhino ramps here, which I don't think was necessary for this repair. Just made it easier to get to the bumper. And I'm working in the garage because it's starting to rain. Here is the under spoiler. So this part, I think, from the dealer, they charge about $450 in Montreal because the prices are ridiculous. I don't even think it's painted, so that would be about $600, $700 to have it painted. Anyway, so the basically is that I guess I must have, coming out of a driveway or something like that, I must have rubbed on something. This part here is broken, as you can see, and I got some nasty scrapes. And the kind people at Honda, see, look at that, it's terrible. Anyways, they told me that, man, that looks worse than I thought. They told me that they would do some touch-ups for free, so instead of replacing the whole part and stuff like that, I figured, well, if I can glue it back or if I can repair it and install it back on my car, maybe they can still touch it up a little bit, and you know what, it actually doesn't look so bad. It looks pretty bad now because we're looking right under it, but when it's on the car and you're looking, it's got some stone chips too, which I'm gonna have to try to repair with some touch-up paint and maybe buff it up. But you know what, when it's on the car, it actually looks pretty decent. I mean, unless you're like on your knees trying to look at the damage that's under it, it actually looks pretty good. So if I can just get it to hold and repair that part that broke. And actually, you can see that there's some old repairs here. You see, I don't know, maybe I could turn the camera light on. Nope, apparently not. Anyways, so yeah, there's an old repair here. Sorry about the poor lighting. Right there, and there's an old repair here also. And I'm not the first owner of this car, so I mean, someone must have smacked into something or someone backed into them and it cracked. It had already been cracked before. There's a new crack here, but this is actually holding in pretty good. So I've peeled off this glue gun type rubber kind of glue that they've been using, that they had used, which is actually not such a good repair. It doesn't seem to have great adhesion. Once I got my screwdriver under there, I was able to like peel it off. So I mean, anyways, so I got this from Napa in Longueuil. There's none in Montreal, but whatever. And it's called Kwik Plastik, and it says right here, it says, if I can focus, repair and rebuild anything made of ABS, PVC, or CPVC. So this is made of ABS, I believe. And it actually says right here, well, that's in French, automotive trim and bumpers. So I'm going to try this out. This is actually a putty form, so it looks like it's going to be easier than something that would be liquid. And at first I was wondering, like, where's the activator in this thing? It's just one stick. Like, how could this possibly not just dry out? Well, there's a little metal tab there, and under there is, if you remove it, you see the inside is a different material. And when you mix that putty up, the activator is on the inside. There's like a core of activator, so you just have to cut off a piece, and then you kind of knead it, and it mixes in the activator with the putty, and it's going to take, how long is it going to take? A couple of hours, I think. I think it dries and sets in 20 minutes, and it cures in 2 to 3 hours. So I'm going to let it cure. I'm going to do some stuff and come back and try to put it back on the car. And hopefully this is going to have the appropriate flexibility so that when I screw it in again, the valence, that it doesn't just crack, because it's going to need a little bit of bend once I start putting those screws in. So I don't know if I'm going to try to scuff it up anymore to get better adhesion. I thought maybe of putting in. I might try to drill some holes halfway through the plastic so that I get like a rivet type effect. I've seen people do that. And I've actually scraped up with my screwdriver the inside of my valence, but you know, who cares? It's the inside of it, so even if it looks terrible. So yeah, I'll tune back with the results afterwards, and I'll tell you if I was satisfied with my JB Weld Kwik Plastik. All right, thanks guys.